All right, bow time. Let's see here. The painting is done, and I'm going to do my best. Let me check something here. Make sure that, yep, nothing's in the way. The painting is done, and I hope you can see this. Daniel wanted muted earth tones on his bow, and it really turned out well, but with this lighting, you might not see all the details. Let's see here. Try to get that in there. And I've got the paint done, and within these green sawtooth is copper. I like the metallics. Dyed. The natural color of the dark rawhide, and then some kind of green outlined with black. Dyed, the same color as the tips. Dyed in here and then painted with the red. That same green outlined in black. And then copper in there, and that really gleams if it's in the right light. But it really turned out nice. And as far as how, say, the colors of a bow artistically fit into the scheme of things, you might not think that a metallic like the copper works out well, but I like the copper because it really sums up, you know, the hard rock portion of the earth, the metals that are found within it. And this really turned out beautiful. It did. Painted one coat of spar urethane varnish on the back to protect it while I do the final tillering and the finishing of the belly. You can see that that's just bare wood. And so tomorrow I will deem this fully cured, mostly fully cured, 95%, and I can start finishing it. So Daniel, the bow is on the way. Next up is the classic, the talisman, but I didn't go with the runes. Hope you can see this. Black diamonds and copper outlining them. You know, I'm really at a disadvantage here with this lighting. Little copper detail on the tips there, and then sinew. And I did some fading in the dye work, so it's kind of like a, what would you call it, like on the guitar where it has that fading or that heavier color on the edges and then it fades in. You know, pooh, I'm just drawing a blank. I know it. But yeah, this turned out really well too. And this is uncalled for. This bow is uncalled for. Kind of a weird way of just saying it's a speculative bow. No one has claimed this yet. I just did it because I wanted to, and it really looks fantastic. Now, I didn't put anything in this dark, this kind of reptilian faded pattern, and I like, pardon me, I like that just blackness in there because it's almost like looking into a window and just seeing blackness. I'll let you figure that out. This is beautiful. And again, such a disadvantage with my light. But yep, this one's up for grabs. It'll probably be about 50 pounds at 28 inches. And these things, my needly tip bows, really fast. And then the channel through here, which you probably can't see, I mean, you have to be here. Single growth ring where you can actually see those triangles are at all practical purposes. You can't tell the difference between that. And a stave made bow, which is wonderful. Beautiful, beautiful bows. Let's see here. Let's see if I can attempt to get, this is so tough. It's rounded, just nice round here, and then flat and flat, so there's a ridge, and I don't know if you can see that with the camera, but there's a sharp ridge that runs down to about here, and then it grades into the roundness. Yeah, that's it. Beautiful bow. And that paddle bow is actually 69 inches because, as I mentioned before, the soon-to-be owner, he's already paid for it, tall, 31-inch draw. And so if that is just this side of 50 with a 31-inch draw, that's going to be a hard-hitting bow because every added inch translates into greater arrow speed because it's got a longer power stroke, a longer chance to accelerate. So at 31 inches, that 50-pound paddle bow is going to shoot like a son of a gun. You know, well over 200 yards. I'm pretty sure of it. Yeah. Now a question, electronics question. Now I explained that I bought a baritone ukulele for my daughter's family, and Molly liked it and she's probably playing it. Well, I don't want to slight my son Max. There's a story to be told with Max, a guitar player. And he's playing with a group that already has 2 guitar players, I'm assuming a lead and a rhythm. And so he was voted to be the bass player. Now poor Max, not poor Max anymore, as you shall see, had bass. I asked him, hey Max, what kind of bass do you have? He was at work. He got back to me, I don't know, which obviously if you don't know the manufacturer of your bass, you are not excited about it. And my thinking was, if he's going to be cubbyholed into playing a bass, which he would rather play the guitar, I'm going to fix that boy up. He's an excellent man. Max is a wonderful person, and so he deserves to have a Christmas/birthday present too. And so I wound up getting a bass from Guitar Center, which, it's a good bass. I describe it as a 4-string Earthquake. You're going to hear it, although it's being played through this like cheap little old Silvertone amp that came with one of these $100 bass amp combinations. It's a crappy little bass amp. It's not even a bass amp. It's just a little speaker thing that you plug into it. Anyway, a Peavey Grind BXP. Now my question for you is, I bought it from Guitar Center used, listed as in excellent condition, and I received it from Guitar Center with the action to the moon. It was ridiculously high, and I wound up lowering it. But the problem is the pots. These 2 go to one of the pickups. These 2 go to the other pickup. Volume, tone, volume, tone. And they're kind of crackly, and you have to fiddle with them to make them work. Can I just take the back off, unplug it of course, and clean it with contact? Because it just seems like they're dirty and not getting good contact. I'm sure that, you know, the pots themselves are not cheap. It just seems like it's dirty. I have to like fiddle them back and forth to get a clean sound out of them. But nice bass. It is. It's in excellent condition, but it was kind of a puzzlement to me. The Guitar Center would obviously sent this thing out without even trying it, you know. Doing the 5 minutes of setup, lowering the action, twisting these things to make sure they work. I sent them an email. It was Guitar Center in California. I said, obviously you didn't even bother to check this thing. You listed it as excellent. It's a good bass. I can figure out the pots. I lowered the action, but still, I was not impressed with your service. But yeah, that's my question, is will contact cleaner, you know, get these things in order? The pots probably are good quality. It just, I would guess that somebody bought this thing, never played it, held on to it because there's no scratches and it's an older bass, but probably just let it sit, you know, and didn't operate it. Anyway, I shall cease my assault on your sensibilities. Have a good one. Thank you for watching. Oh, one piece. I mean, this is neck through the body. Feeds the strings through the back. It's good pickups, good everything. Straight neck, beautiful straight neck. Might need a little fret work, but good enough for government work. You can see, buy an instrument. They're fun. It's hard to put this thing down.